1 second. Okay. So this is a good question. You guys can read it together. Problem is, most of the word problem is about decoding, decoding the knowledge. Let's just say if I were to annotate, what would be the things that I would annotate and write out in terms of mathematical symbols? So that's the first target I have to do. Um, so let's just spend 30 seconds to read it. And each one of you guys gonna contribute about how to answer question. Okay. Okay, Andrea, what can you tell me here?
Like what to underline, right?
Yeah, what kind of things I need to underline here?
Increasing at constant rate.
Increase at what is increase in a constant rate though? What is that? No, but read a phrase before that. Read a, I don't know, the subject. What is subject here?
Descent.
What is it?
Like the circumference of like the base.
Yes, circumference. So it's a C. So if I were to read that, how do I write it in a calculus way? How do I write circumference is increasing in constant rate 5 pi feet per hour? Well, how would I write it?
Is it like the like dc dt?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. dc dt. So dc dt is equal to 5 pi, and we don't need the units, but in case you want to write down, you can. But right here, it doesn't need a unit because all the answer doesn't have a unit, so you don't have to worry about that. How about Destiny? What else do you see here? Destiny?
What is the rate of change
Of what?
of the volume of the pipe?
So how do I write it in term of calculus? So this is the questions. How do I write that in term of calculus? So the circumference is increasing constant rate. So that's dc dt. What will be this case? What's the rate of change volume of the pile? Destiny? Give it a try.
Would it be the derivative of the volume?
Yep. dv over what?
dt?
Yep. dv dt is unknown. Right? But unknown, there was also one more thing they give it to you. What else did they give it to you? Actually, two more things that they give it to you. What are the things?
At the base.
What happened?
You can go.
Volume is equal to R2.
So V equal to R3 over 3. And what else? One more thing we haven't used yet.
That the base is circular?
The base is circular. What else? There's one more number we have.
It's basically
so what is the 8 pi though?
The circumference.
So C equal to 8 pi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's one more thing that you have to understand is, well, if C equal to 8 pi, what is equation for C? Do you guys know? C is equal to what? In terms of geometry, what's C equal to 2?
2 pi r.
2 pi r, good. So those are all the information I need here. 2 pi r 30块一箱。Okay, so that's all the information I need. So first of all, you have to be able to decode everything into the small pieces, and then you're gonna go in to figure out what happened. So they obviously want a dvdt, so that means you have to take a derivative to this one, right? You have to take a derivative of this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a derivative of that one and see what else I need. So dvdt. Can somebody tell me what's derivative of rq over 3 is?
Of what?
What is the derivative? You guys take d to the dt here. And d to the dt here. Jacidi?
R squared. Would we count R cube over 3 as an entire equation itself?
Yeah. Easier to think about when you take a derivative?
Like just R squared
Yeah, but it's more than that.
plus C?
No, that's integrations.
Oh, okay.
First of all, what happened on the left side? If you take
Maybe. Sorry.
good, and how about on the right side? You had it right at the very beginning. You just need to finish it off.
What do you mean by finish it off?
Well, what do you have before?
I had I had R squared.
Right? And there's something else after that.
Oh, d over dt. No, dt.
No.
No?
Destiny?
Uh,
Andrea?
Isn't it like? Oh, is it dr dt?
Yeah, that's right. Because look, you have to. First of all, you take a derivative of this, right? So it's actually a chain rule. What happened is you're gonna take a derivative to rq first. So
Oh.
it's 3r. Oh no, it's 3r squared, but the 3 cancel out, right? And then times derivative to r respect to t, so it'll be dr dt. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yeah.
So let's look at this part. What can you find out from this information here? Why?
Because 8 divided by 2 is 4.
Right, so you're gonna set them equal to each other, right? So divided by 2 pi on both sides, so 8 pi over 2 pi is equal to r, so that's equal to 4. So because obviously we got an r piece, we finished this, we can install it right here. We still need a dr dt. We have something equal to 5 pi. How do I use that?
Take the derivative circumference.
Yeah, take a derivative with respect to time, right? So that's gonna be 2 pi. And then what? 2 pi what?
dr over dt.
Good. See, now you guys start getting hang of this. So then this one is a 5 pi. And this is 2 pi. And then dr dt is the only thing that's left over. So dr dt is equal to 5 over 2. So we got this r is equal to 4. And this is 5 over 2. Then we pretty much get it. So dv dt is equal to 4 squared times 5 over 2. Then 16 times 5 is 80 over 2. That's equal to 40. So the answer is 40. When you have extra time, you go touch reiterate.
Mister, I think I lost my paper. Can you like send it to the?
Okay, I'll try to go back to unlock it. You can take a screenshot for now.
Yeah, I am. That's what I'm doing.
But do you understand what's happening?
Yeah. I was following along.
Okay. So you just have to decode everything and then get along with what happened to everything here.
I don't know who said that they needed it, but
So the answer is 40.
I have it through
Chat and she can email to you.
your regular email works because I sent it to my regular email, and I can't send
Oh.
you it to your school.
Okay, I'll put it in.
Yeah, for me it's too hard to get out and figure out email and stuff like that. So it'd be easier if Destiny emails you. Any other questions, Destiny? I know this is a long question, but it, I'm trying to break down as easy as possible, so it takes a little bit while. But this is not a question you guys should all attempt, only if you have extra time. Other question you want me to go over? Jessica, do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Next question. If nobody's asking, Destiny continue to ask because they might have the same question.
Yeah, I was just.
Okay, so this one's important, and you want to write down on a separate sheet of paper. Why do you think this question is important? Because this question can transfer to once. We're not going to talk about just one. So I think a lot of time I like to connect the different ideas together. Sometimes it causes more confusing for students, but in many times it would be easier to memorize something. So, for example, what kind of things I will know here, and those are the stuff you need to write down. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some of you guys, and if you need to go back to cheat sheet and look at what is the certain thing, just let me know. So I'm gonna ask you guys to get you guys to participate. So what is average rate of change? Anybody can tell me that average rate of change is?
F of A over B minus A.
Yeah, do you see that? Average rate of change. Right? And the key word is equal. Equal means equal sign, right? And there's something else. So they can ask you like different kind of question, especially in MC in FRQ. They ask average rate of change quite a bit. So first we had to understand that. So average rate of change. So anybody can tell me what's instantaneous rate of change? Anybody can tell me that? What's instantaneous rate of change? It's also in your cheat sheet as well, I believe. But this is definitely a 3 question. It's worth 3 different concepts. So anybody can tell me what instantaneous rate of change is? You guys should have a cheat sheet on the desktop or print it out. You can always access it. The more access it, the more you memorize it, all the things.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Did it? I don't know. It should be an average rate of change. I'm surprised they didn't have it. Oh, on the cheat sheet it says instantaneous. So that means, for example, that means wait, somebody asked. Actually end up to be something else, because when they equal to each other, that just means f of b minus f of a, which means mean value theorem. Only if they are differentiable though. So this is the third thing, is mean value theorem. So I'm just 1 over a b minus a. So this is mean value theorem. Mean value theorem is going to be the combination of two, which is what we did today with that hard problem. You had to understand, because endpoint is not differentiable. I'm gonna do that. So how do I take f of b minus f of a? Well, I just plug in f of 3 minus f of 1 over 3 minus 1 equal the derivative of x cubed. Do you know how to do it? 27 plus 15 minus, I believe, 6 over 2. That's 18 minus 5 equal to 3x squared. 13 equal to 3x squared. 13 over 3 equal to x squared. And square root 13 over 3 is equal to x. It's actually not rationalized. Like I said before, rationalized is a perfect lie we lie to students. So that way, all the answer is going to be uniform. But if you want to rationalize this, it should be square root 39 over 3 without a radical. And let me know if you have any question.
Are we moving on a different question now?
All those 3 questions could be short.
We like see if they
Question probably a little bit harder to take a derivative, because this is kind of easy. So Jessica, Jacidi, you guys have extra more month, and Destiny you take in June too, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not so much worried about it. We just improve 2 or 3 questions per day, and then we're gonna get you a very high score, because you guys got extra. Just need to let me know if you improve a couple questions a day, you'd be a couple questions better.
I have a question, but it's not on, like, I'm used to just replace x with 1.
You got 0 over 0, then that's the moment you do. That's what you do. L-Haptoro means you take a derivative to the top, and you take a derivative to the bottom. Not quotient rule. It's just derivative of numerator and derivative of denominator, and then plug in 1 again to see what happened.
Okay.
If it reach infinity, then it's probably easier to divide it by highest degree of denominator.
I always get confused.
I will do that. Give me a second.
Mm.
Inverse one is actually a slight easier question. It's just harder to understand.
It's a hit or miss for this stuff.
The inverse one. The inverse one, okay, so if, I mean, this can be a very easy question or could be a very difficult questions. So if you feel comfortable with it, I will kind of definitely do, for AP exam goals, usually it is placed between 26 to 27 to around 28. One of those questions have something to do with inverse. If you think that you are good, then you are set. So the formula says f prime of f inverse of x. Okay, so what you technically do is you're gonna figure out that there is a coordinate swap, right? So you know that f of x and you know g of x is equal to f inverse of x. That means in here you got something you're gonna get output, but at the inverse of x is also gonna get the same thing. So you're gonna get x and f inverse of x. So because when x equal to 3, that's equal to 1. Does that make sense?
Wait, restate how you got that?
No, this is the inverse of x. You know there's x and y coordinates, right? And the x comma 1, pretty much that's what happened here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now with that being said, the inverse function, that's where the values switch. So I'm going to plug in 1 and take a derivative. That means I'm going to take a derivative of this function. So it's f prime of x is equal to f prime of x is equal to what?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question?
If I just take a derivative of this, well, we're going to plug in this. Plug in 1 there. So that's going to equal to 3 times 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 1. So that's equal to 3 that. So the answer is going to be f inverse.
Yeah, think about it.
That's okay, and that's what you had to do. Next time you should be able to get. If you're able to get it, then definitely go to this question, because this question is a lot easier than related rate questions. It's a lot easier than us. I will take out that one first, because it takes really like 10 to 45 seconds to do those questions. So those are the strategy you got to form. Like you see, you can skim through. So you got inverse question, you can take out inverse and just take the inverse question. At least got a question correct. Question first.
Want to do 27?
It won't be the best question for you guys. I'll go over it still, but it would be the time consuming question. There are so many derivative is worth it. Chain rule for us taking derivative. So let me go over something. If I take d to the dx of x squared, what am I gonna get? Actually, there is a derivative of x is 1.
3y squared dy dx.
There we go. So now you still take a derivative of y respect to x. Dx, that just say x squared y to. Now that's commonly. Sure. Yeah, answer because
Is it e?
I don't know.
Oh, e to the
XY.
Y of the y square respect to x.
2.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna plug in. I don't want to worry about anything else. I just plug in right now, so because it would make my life easier. So 1/2 times 2 is 1/2 dy dx plus 2 minus 2 times 2 dy dx is equal to 0. So this one's e times half, so it'll be half e, sorry. And I'm going to distribute dy dx, and this is e, so it'll be plus 2e minus 4 dy dx. Now I'm going to move 2e to the other side, so it'll be minus 2e. And I'm going to factor out dy dx on this side with 1/2 e minus 4. So dy dx equal to minus 2e over 1/2 e minus 4. Multiply top and bottom by 2. So negative 4e over e minus 8. And that was an answer choice because the closest one is this one. So I'm going to move that negative sign to the bottom. So that's equal to 4e of 8 minus e. But this is the more crucial part. This just the hard problem part, which is the process are exactly the same.
Sadie got kicked out.
Okay.
Mister, can you scroll? Oh, no.
I don't see her anywhere, but I'm gonna share my screen again. But you guys can share the screen. You guys are in the same house. Jesus. So by understand this question, you understand a lot more question because we go into all the breakdowns from d to the dx of x squared, d to the dx of y cubed, d to the dx of negative 2x squared y cubed. You had to do product rule there. So d to the dx of e to the y dy dx. That's the chain rule. D to the dx of e to the xy is the chain rule plus product rule. Does that make sense? And also knowing this is derivative of e to the u is equal to e to the u times du dx.
Mister,
Yep,
I have to go.
that's fine. Do you learn something? Did you learn at least 3 questions per day?
Yeah, I would say I'm closer.
Go back and review them, and make sure you understand that. Because if you understand even a little bit per day, remember you're testing at June 9th, so in this very well you have a lot of time to prepare, so it's very easy to get 3 and 4. And Andrea, you have to learn a lot more, so you probably have to learn 5 or 6 questions per day to really improve.
Mister, I have a question.
Yeah.
How did the negative 4 change to negative 8?
Because I don't like complex fractions here. So what I do is I multiply the top and bottom by 2 because this is 1/2. So that way I multiply by 1. So the 1/2 e multiplied by 2 is going to be e, and the 4 multiplied by 2 is going to be 8. But if you do it to the bottom, you have to multiply the top on 2 as well. So it'd be negative 4e.
Okay. Well, I have to go too now because I have to go. But I finished all of the first section, the questions that I got wrong. I already reviewed all of them.
Good, good.
So
I think you should be fine. You should be fine. I didn't know you have extra
it's
month to prepare, but yeah, it's still try to focus. And even the problem is after May 4th, you guys have to get together and try to go over each question each day, so a couple questions each day. So even like couple question warm up, just get together each day to do it together. That's why I said at the group chat where everybody can together and go over it.
okay.
Because it's
Well,
really
thank
easy to
you.
slack off between that month.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for tutoring.
No problem. Andrea, do you have any more questions?
My brain's kind of fried now, to be honest.
Okay, that's fine. Did you understand the whole questions?
Yeah, I did. I
You guys happen to ask one of the more difficult questions. So, but I will say understand this first, right?
yeah.
And then slowly you can understand this. So you can go back, redo it, and make sure you did get it right, and make sure you do a correction. And this, just understand those three concepts, right? Those three concepts. That's more important because more likely you know how to do this question is great, but when it's on an actual test, if you change your number, change your things, completely different. So you have to understand the idea. And yeah, we didn't go over any other question, but you happen to go over the three hardest questions here. But it's talk
Yeah.
about a lot of concepts. Okay, I'll talk to you next time. Good job.
Okay.
Remember, you only have one more week to go. Try to stay in tutoring as much as you can.
Yeah. That's kind of scary. I didn't realize how quick time is.
Yeah, but you guys don't come to tutoring. You just come into today. Were you there yesterday? Yeah, you were here
No,
yesterday.
yesterday, because it was Wednesday, I got confused on the time.
Okay, that's fine. Just make sure you stay with the course. And FRQ,
Yeah.
if you think you're comfortable, then just keep on working on the homework. Keep on getting better. When we go over in class, it was fun. When we go over in here, it's always multiple choice. So just make sure you cover
Yeah.
both ends. Okay?
Because FRQ, they tell me like what I need to find. I'm like, that's why I think I'm better at that.
And I think that's good if you feel more comfortable with FRQ, and that's fine. And so
Mm.
you got, one set is going for you, and the other set, it just it really depends on the person. Some people prefer one thing, some people prefer the other thing.
Yeah.
But
Okay, thank you.
no problem.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.